Good to be back again. Joke for the day is this. Being a butcher may be gross, but people who sell fruits and vegetables are grosser. Grocer. Isn't that just pathetic? Just pathetic. Most of the shadows, this is from God's little instruction book, most of the shadows of this life are caused by standing in one's own sunshine. Proverbs 29 says, "A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit." Don't think too highly of yourself, and you can't go wrong. This one today is a little complicated, so I need you to listen with two ears. Here we go. Proverbs 21 verse 16 says this. "A man who strays from the path of understanding comes to rest in the company of the dead." It's pretty harsh. Understanding in biblical terms means having the capacity to discern, to separate the wheat from the chaff, to know what is essential and what is peripheral, to be able to hone in on any issue and say, this is the lesson we're supposed to get today. Thus, if you're walking down the street and you see an animal struggling, you don't say to yourself, well, if I only had a gun, I'd put this poor animal out of its misery. But rather you might say, might I not take this animal home, extend love to it, bring it back and feed it, and see if it can stand on its own 4 feet. The Hebrew word for understanding is binah. I think it's pronounced binah. Binah is a special art. It calls for a sensitivity triggered by an experienced situation. It does not call for formulas, scientific analysis, or metaphysical speculation. But it does call for a response from the heart, from your intuitive sense, and from whatever compassion you might possess. Binah is also used in situations when it's called for. For example, if I were a judge and a case came before me, in Jewish terms, I would be expected to judge in an objective way. As the text tells us, neither be inclined to the rich nor inclined to the poor, neither to the powerful nor to the weak. I can tell you from my own experience during the days of my active rabbinate, which is him being a rabbi, that I had to bridle my initial feelings more than once. If someone came into my office and asked for an act of mediation on my part, the first thing I had to do was to rid myself of all subjective feelings. That is the essence of binah, understanding. And too many of us today react out of formulas. For example, well, if he's a Republican, he must be lying. Or if he's a Democrat, he simply must not be telling the truth. That's formulas. They're bad. Doesn't get to the truth at all. Only understanding can do that. Let's be at prayer. We come before this day, O Lord, and ask that you be with us. Help us with our understanding. Help us with our intuitive sense of what's right and wrong. Help us to grasp when we're called to grasp issues and stay neutral and try to be positive. Help us, Lord. May the peace of God be with you now and every day.